Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Legends. So, the very first Legends information, the, rebranded name for the Dragon Ball Legends reveals and stuff, has just ended. And we did get the announcement of 2 new Sparking units that'll be coming into the game. And they're kind of playing on the units that we got from the last banner. So I guess in a sense, this is kind of like an extension of that. So, the units that we will be getting are a brand new Sparking Android 17 and a brand new LF Fused Zamasu. So I did record my reaction to all this, so check that out first, and then we'll break down what they can do. Wait, another Tag Future unit? A new 17 and 18? Or is it just... Oh no, okay, it's just Sparking 17. Okay, I'm about to say, so... Okay, so because, yeah, with Gohan and Trunks, we had Sparking 18 as the 1% Sparking. So... Because...
Guess I gotta find a new toy.
I am glad that we're getting a new 17, though. The lack of... Oh, Lord. Oh, wait! Oh my god, we finally got a new... Wait, but...
The hopes and dreams of you mortals held no sway from the start.
LF Fused Zamasu, please let him be a transforming unit. I beg of you. I beg of you. It's been almost 4 years. I mean, I'm not complaining with the LF Fused Zamasu at all. He's clean. Okay, he's not a transforming unit. Still clean though, but man.
How pitiful. You know not your own weakness.
I mean, how long has it been since we've had an actual summonable Fused Zamasu unit? Okay, not bad. So now that we've seen what they can do, let's break it down. So, starting off with Sparking Android 17. Of course, he is a purple unit, he's a range type, his tags are Android, Future, Twins, and Powerful Opponent, and his Z ability 3 buffs Tag Android, Tag Future, and Tag Powerful Opponent. Specifically what the buffs do, we don't know, but at least we know he buffs Android, Future, and Powerful Opponent. I will say though, that him being a purple unit concerns me a bit, because remember, we are in a yellow unit dominated meta right now. So him being a purple unit is not really a good option. And on top of that, granted, it depends on if you want to use them or not. We do have the Tag, Cell, and Frieza unit as well. And Cell is an android. So if you wanted to use him, you could, and that would cover 2 element factors as well. So, I mean, it's completely up to you guys, depending on who you want to use and whatnot. But again, him being a purple unit is a bit concerning. But of course, he does have tools to help fend that off, which we will get into in just a bit. So, on the next page, it says, Powerful Synergy with Android 18. This is what has me really excited for this particular unit. Unique abilities. Applies the following effects to self if character Android 18 is a battle member. Plus 30% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Nullifies enemies, restores health when it reaches 0 effects. When this character attacks, cannot be cancelled. So this is why I said this banner is kind of like an extension of the last one, right? Because in the last banner, we got, of course, the new tag unit, Tag Super Saiyan Future Gohan and Trunks, but we also got a brand new Android 18. And when she gets paired up with Android 17 of any kind, she permanently nullifies endurance. This unit, when paired up with any Android 18 unit, permanently nullifies endurance. So it's very clear that these 2 units were meant to be paired up with each other. So that way, if they're both in the battle, they will permanently nullify endurance. So if there's any units that are just hiding behind endurance, like random example, Ultra Majin Vegeta, if you breathe on him while Ultra Majin Vegeta's health is low, he will die. There's no way to stop the endurance nullification from this unit or from Android 18 if they're paired up with each other. So you've got to be very, very careful when it comes down to this Android 17 alongside the new Android 18 as well. But remember, this unit is also a purple unit, so you also gotta be careful about that because, well, Ultra Majin Vegeta counters that. So, yeah. Anyway, on to the next page. An ultimate art that can support allies too. Ultimate arts. On activation, plus 20% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, plus 15% to damage inflicted by allies cannot be cancelled. On hit, draw a special arts card next, shortens allies' substitution counts by 3, destroys all of your enemy's cards. So, just using the ult already raises your ult damage, which is good, right? But it also buffs your team. So, and it can't be canceled. So, as long as you use the ult, there's some benefit to be gained from it. Whether you land it or not, at least your team will get buffed from it. And then, of course, if you do land the hit, then of course you get a special arts card, and you shorten your allies' sub counts, and of course, obviously, if they don't have effects that prevent this from happening, then you destroy all of your enemy's cards, which means that after your ult lands, they're kind of a sitting duck. So you'll be able to take advantage of maybe getting them to vanish out the way, or try to be able to get some sort of combo started before they can swap, or whatever the case may be. So it does have its benefits. Now, moving on to the next page. A special arts that draws an ultimate arts. Special arts randomly destroys one of your own cards and draws the ultimate card or ultimate arts card. Demolition Hyper Buster next. Activates once. Restores own health by 15% and ki by 40. Cancels own attribute downgrades. Inflicts all enemies with 2 substitution counts. Now, this is actually very, very important. So this unit has 2 ultimate attacks, right? Which at this point, it's becoming a bit more common for units to have more than 1 ult. But why is this so important? It's important because remember, on the previous page, we were just talking about, I believe his special arts card, and or not special arts, sorry. It was one of the cards that allowed him to be able to draw something. His ultimate arts card, right? So when you use his ult, right, you get a special arts card when you connect your ult, right? So that means that, I mean, and I hope that this has blast armor so you can really take advantage of it. So when you use his ult and it lands, you get a special skill from it, right? And then if you pop that special skill, you get another ult. So again, like, take that as you will, right? Of course, you don't have to immediately use your special skill with him because maybe you want to use that ult for something else. Who knows? But if you have the opportunity to do so, let's say you're like last man standing and your opponent is last man standing and you've used your ult, they're still alive, but you got that special skill, pop that, and if the circumstances are favorable, then you can use your ult again. So it does have some sort of benefit. And then on the last page for Android 17, abilities that can defend against attacks used after auto counters. Unique abilities. Applies the following effects to self when enemy activates an auto counter or evade action while this character is on the battlefield. Restores health by 30%, activates once. Reduces impact damage received by 15% for 3 timer counts. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 5 timer counts. The following effects occur when enemy activates an auto counter or evade action while this character is not defeated. Plus 20% to own health restoration, cannot be cancelled, activates once. Seals enemies' special move arts. The sealed arts cannot be used for 3 timer counts, activates twice. So it is very obvious, very, very obvious this was meant for Ultra Majin Vegeta, and potentially a little bit of a Beast Gohan in there too. But as you guys know, like Ultra Majin Vegeta, Beast Gohan, and like Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like units of the like, their unique gauges allow them to automatically counter particular hits, right? So with Android 17 being a purple unit, I did say that we are in a yellow unit dominated meta. So he is already at a pretty hefty disadvantage, but he does have some tools to help him survive the nonsense that he may deal with from the stronger yellow units in the game, right? So the best example to use with this would be Ultra Majin Vegeta, where if you activate his gauge with the Ki Blast, he gets a special move every single time. So that in a normal circumstance would destroy 17. But in this case, if you activate Monster Vegeta's auto counter with 17, you get health back, you reduce your damage received, and you nullify element factors. So you're at least element neutral when he, when the counter activates, right? And not only that, you seal the special move arts as well. So because of that, he can't even follow up after you activate his gauge. So it gives you a bit of safety, which is actually pretty good. So again, we'll have to see how he really works, because at the end of the day, he is still a purple unit, but he has some tools there. He has some tools there. And then finally, we have the brand new LF Fused Zamasu unit. So it shows Legends Limited Sparking Fusion Zamasu. He's a red unit, a melee type. Tags are Future, Regeneration, Patara, Fusion Warrior, God Key, and Powerful Opponent. And his Z ability 3 buffs Tag Future, Tag Powerful Opponent, and Tag God Key. So no Fusion Warrior this time, which is it makes sense. But he's also a red unit, so I'm assuming they're already trying to replace Mai, which is crazy because Mai's actually a pretty solid unit. Like I see her get used a lot actually, but if they're trying to replace Mai, I get it, right? Like she is new, but this is an LF unit, so of course he's gonna have a potential like better kit than her. So I get it. Not to say that Mai's a bad unit, because she's not at all. But it seems like they're trying to replace her, or if not replace, then just add another red unit to use alongside her, which again, in a yellow unit dominated meta is a good thing. So again, definitely not complaining at all. And he's a melee type, so I'm hoping, he's able to utilize blast armor a lot. Now, on the next page, the unique gauge swaps between offense and defense. At battle start, sustained damage type charges unique gauge every time when hit with an arts attack. And then we'll go, from the left, circling to the right. So, switches when this character uses a strike, blast, special move, or ultimate arts. And it swaps to sustained damage type to attack type, which charges unique gauge every time this character uses an arts card. And then, from, circling to the right up to the top, switches when this character is hit by an enemy's arts attack, and then you go back to sustained damage type. So, you start the battle as a sustained damage type, but the moment you attack, your gauge swaps to an attack type, and the moment you get hit, your gauge swaps back to sustained damage type. So, it's gonna be interesting to utilize this unit because, in a sense, he's offensive and defensive, right? Like, that's what his gauge is for. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how that works, because it could make for something really, really unique. Now, on the next page, powerful single attacks and combo potential when attacking. When unique gauge is attack type, not all effects shown, charges own unique gauge every time this character uses an arts card while they are on the battlefield. Once the unique gauge is full, it resets to 0 and applies the following effects to self when this character uses an arts card. Randomly draws one new card, plus 20% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates once, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 5 timer counts, cannot be cancelled, applies buff effect, nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover for 5 timer counts. Okay, so again, this is not all the effects, but again, you charge your unique gauge every time you use an arts card. So again, if you're being offensive, your gauge will charge, and when it's full, it instantly resets to 0. You get a new card, you get a damage buff, you get arts card draw speed up, which is always good, and you nullify cover change. So those abilities, not bad at all. It'll allow you to continue your combo, allow you to deal some extra damage, and it'll allow you to continue comboing without your combo getting interrupted for a short period of time. So that's not bad. It's pretty decent, right? But then we also have the other side of the coin, right? So on the next page, it shows stop combos and recover when defending. When unique gauge is sustained damage type, not all effects shown, charges own unique gauge every time when hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character is on the battlefield. Once the unique gauge is full, it resets to 0, and the following effects occur when hit by an enemy's arts attack. Restores own health by 15%, plus 20% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates once. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, reduces enemy key by 50. So, pretty much as long as this unit is on the battlefield, you will have a guaranteed way of charging up his unique gauge, which is good. And defensively speaking, if you're getting attacked by the opponent, your gauge will fill up, and once it fills up, it'll reset to 0. You get health back. You raise your damage inflicted, which is good. So when you get back on the offensive, you'll be able to attack and hopefully deal damage. And you destroy 2 of your enemy's cards and knock down their key by 50. So it's pretty much to help with sustainability by sabotaging your opponent's combo potential. But I mean, if they still have like, for example, arts card draw speed up, then you'll have to find a way to get around all of that. But for the most part though, not too bad. Not too bad. Now on the next page, special arts have different effects depending on which type of unique gauge you have. Special arts. If unique gauge is sustained damage type, reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 1, activates 3 times. Seals enemy special move and special arts. The sealed arts cannot be used for 5 timer counts. If unique gauge is attack type, randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. Restores own vanishing gauge by 100%, activates 3 times, plus 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Okay, so this is actually not too bad. So if you're getting comboed, then you'll potentially be able to hinder your opponent from getting Rising Rush. That's good. And not only that, you'll be able to kind of prevent them from using their heavy hitting moves, like their special move, right? Granted, I mean, if they have an ultimate attack, you'll have to deal with that. But at the very least though, you're able to knock down Dragon Balls up to 3 times, and you seal their special move and special arts, which is good. That should give you some semblance of survivability, right? And then if you're an attack type, you restore your vanishing gauge by 100%, which is good. And then not only that, you raise your damage inflicted. So that'll give you that extra bit of security while you're attacking. So just in case you really need your vanishing gauge to maybe dodge a Rising Rush or a powerful attack or whatever the case may be, you can do so, which is good. And then on the final page, it says ultimate arts that crits easily. Ultimate arts applies the following effects to self upon activation: plus 50% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, plus 50% to critical rate for 10 timer counts cannot be cancelled. Nullifies enemies, restores health when it reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. The following effects occur on hit. A portion of the damage inflicted will also be dealt to enemy members on standby. This cannot cause them to be defeated. Destroys all of your enemy's cards. 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed. Okay, so that's actually gonna be very important for a lot of the yellow units that are in the meta right now, like Maj Vegeta. And if you're able to get around his gauge, then Ultra beats Gohan as well. That crit rate up can potentially make him deal some nasty damage on top of the plus 50% to his ultimate damage that he'll deal as well. And of course he nullifies endurance, like he's an elf unit, so that's to be expected. But not only that, if you're landing this on a yellow unit, you're gonna be doing lots of damage to him and potentially to the enemy team as well, right? Of course, it's not gonna be able to knock them out, but it is what it is. And if they don't have anything to prevent this from happening, then you destroy all of your enemy's cards and you guaranteed inflict them with extreme bleed. So there are some abilities there. Like this Fused Zamasu unit is not sounding half bad. He's really not. But we will have to see how he performs when it comes down to his release, which should be, I believe, at the next reset. So we'll see how all that works. And finally, just to get this last bit of information out the way, GVG is finally coming to the game. We've known about this for a while, but they finally talked about it. And yeah, it should be releasing during the next reset as well. So if you're in a silver ranked guild or higher, you'll be able to participate. If you're in anything lower than that, you won't be able to. It is what it is. But yeah, that is all the details about the new units we'll be getting in the game. And I do want to know what you guys think about the brand new Sparking Android 17 and the brand new LF Fused Zamasu unit in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.